And heck, I even made it onto ITV News from it. So it's definitely a worthwhile thing to do. Okay people, so today's video is going to run through 5 ways that you can make money online in 2021, depending on course of how good you are and how hard you work. However, let's not dwell on that because how hard you work and how good you currently are isn't something that I can actually control, and therefore it's completely in your hands. Although speaking of things in your hands, whilst we're on that subject, I would greatly appreciate it if you could move part of your hand, ideally the thumb if you're on your mobile device, or index finger, and click that left mouse button to smash the hell out of that little grey finger before we get started. And now with the formalities out of the way, I will be sharing 5 things that you can start literally today and explain how easy they are to set up, how easy they are to make money from, and also, more importantly probably for yourselves, how much money can you make from them. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first one we're going to begin with is podcasting. Now you literally must be living under a rock if you don't know what podcasting is. Podcasting is one of the fastest growing areas in the online world, especially when it comes down to brands or influencers or even celebrities, with an estimated 100 million people listening to them in 2020. And if there's one thing I noticed in 2020 was every man and his dog, literally, was starting podcasts. And there's a reason for this. They are simply cheap to host. They have the potential, if you market them right or choose the right niche, to massively grow or blow your brand. And I say this from experience, so I'm not just reading an article and sharing it with you guys. I am very fortunate to have had 2 successful podcasts, and they've reached over 60 countries across the world with over 250,000 listens. And I'm literally like the furthest thing from a radio presenter. So if I can do it, you guys definitely can. And even if you think you've got a monotone voice or your sound pants on a microphone, trust me, if you have something to share with an audience that's maybe entertaining or engaging, or even something that can create some emotion, you can massively benefit from starting a podcast. So let's jump into the cost. Now in terms of the cost, like I said, it can be relatively inexpensive. We literally started the Black Country Blogs podcast with my friend Kevin's phone in a boxing gym where you could hear the conkers falling on the roof in the middle of our sessions. And that's done so well that people are now supporting the show financially. A radio station has given us a slot every week. And heck, I even made it onto ITV News from it. So it's definitely a worthwhile thing to do. Now in terms of the cost, you can also spend hundreds and hundreds on it. I have 3 Rodecaster Pro mics lying around in this room and also have one on here as well. So the cost can be very expensive. Plus I also have a Rodecaster Pro here as well, which is about 500 quid. However, you can also be stingy and simply throw it up on YouTube, IGTV, Facebook for absolutely free. Now as for a hosting platform, if you want it on iTunes, Spotify and SoundCloud and all that stuff, you're looking at prices of around £12 to £20, and they all have their own perks. But I think for cost, we're definitely going to have to give this a 1 out of 5. Now, how easy is it to make money from it? Now, I can't imagine anyone watching this has ever been shyer or worse at communication than myself. Quick story time, I actually failed my communications module in uni, getting the lowest score out of the whole year. So I was pretty bad. Now, that was mainly because I wasn't allowed to drink before my presentation as it was at 10 o'clock in the morning. And if I was able to, I probably would have smashed it. But more because I actually suffer with shyness and anxiety, hence my name, The Anxious Investor. And that really has crippled a lot of my opportunities. But one of the things I want to try and do with this channel, and I try and do my podcast, is not to let shyness or anxiety or anything that you're going through stop you from getting to where you need to get to. So nonetheless, I still managed it, and providing words come out your mouth, which I hope they certainly do, then you can get a message across by recording it into something that captures your voice. And it can be even as simple as a mobile phone. Now, how much money can you earn from this? Now I could use Joe Rogan here as an example, who apparently earns roughly $30 million a year of his podcast. Now, I don't want to shatter anyone's dreams here, but the chances are you and I may not get to that level. However, you can still make money from it, and here are some ways. The first is ad sponsors. I've been approached by CBD oil companies, mattress companies, and even clothing lines to share their ads on my podcast, with prices ranging from £250 to £1,000 for a number of set ad rows. Secondly, you can also sell your own stuff. And the third is some hosting platforms will actually pay you per download and automatically put ads on there. So the possibilities are actually endless in terms of making money. So for that, I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. Next up, we have YouTube. Now, as you may likely have seen, there are some fake gurus selling property courses or some nonsense before my video roll ads. And you know what? Actually, I may even show you one right now. Sorry guys, I've had to put you through that ad, but I thought it'd add a little bit of an effect to the video. and, well, of course, to earn a few pennies. But that's literally what YouTube does. YouTube pays creators some of the ad revenue that they share on their videos. And although I don't advise doing YouTube for the money, as you'll probably fail, or quit when you realize how difficult this is, because even myself, I actually lose money running this channel. And the only plus side is all the lovely comments I get from all you guys that actually keeps me motivated to keep coming back to try and help you. But let's break down some of the actual costs of getting started onto YouTube. To set it up, you can literally do it in minutes and it's absolutely free. And in terms of how you can record, well, you can literally record from your phone. I have some videos on here that I actually recorded on my phone as well. Maybe you can try and find them. And to be honest, I probably should have stuck to my iPhone first, because I bought a very expensive camera thinking that's what I needed. But literally, I didn't know what I was doing. I ended up messing around with some of the settings, and actually some of my videos look really bad. So if you just started out, maybe don't get excited like I did. Otherwise, you're gonna have stuff looking like an old VHS tape. And for anyone under 30, that's the things us dinosaurs used to watch. But in all seriousness, it can be as expensive or as cheap as you desire. And there are many YouTubers out there who literally record on their phone and make a great income from it. The key I would recommend though is to have some good audio quality and work on your lighting. That's something that I'm trying to get going on this video. So maybe if you've noticed a change in the video, especially on this one, then please do let me know in the comments and maybe smash that like button too. But for this, we're gonna give it a 1. Now, how easy is it to make money from it? Well, nowadays, YouTube has a new threshold where you need to achieve 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subs before you're allowed to put ads onto your platform and videos. And in regards to how quick you can get there and how soon you meet that threshold, that really depends on how good you are, especially when you start, or the niche that you're operating in. Some people are actually great at recording videos. Others have bloopers in every single one of their videos. But to get monetized, I will say it's probably a 3 out of 5 because it does take a lot of work. Now, how much can you earn from it? Now, I don't actually earn a lot of money from this channel, but I know creators out there who literally earn life-changing sums of money. I'm talking 30 to 40,000 pounds a month. And this isn't just from ad revenue either. It's from 2 things that I'm actually going to mention later on in this video, but also things that they sell in the video. For example, if you get a video to go viral talking about a new health supplement you have just created and you provide a link in the description offering loyal watchers 10% off that, and that video somehow goes viral and YouTube recommends it, you can make a lot of money and also change lives in the process, especially if you've created the greatest superfood blend on the market. So the possibilities are truly remarkable, and for that reason, I'm definitely going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Next up, we have Skillshare. Now, I mentioned this, I think, in one of my last videos, which about 4 of you watched. So not many of you know about Skillshare, but I actually have some classes on Skillshare. And Skillshare is a fantastic platform with over 8 million plus students learning all sorts of incredible things via classes made by creators like myself or wiser minds, teachers and entrepreneurs, and just people who have something to share. And the great thing with it is you can get 2 weeks free with the link I have in the description below. But thankfully this month, Skillshare is actually giving me a kickback for anyone who signs up. Now, it's not a huge amount, but it's going to give you 14 days free to learn anything you want. And I make $10 for every referral that I do. Plus, for myself, the reason I actually was attracted to Skillshare is that I'm able to teach some property stuff on a more classroom basis for literally free. Whereas there's gurus out there charging absolutely thousands to learn about property. So if you want 14 days free of Skillshare and you want to learn a little bit through my classes, especially if you're starting in this game, then make sure you check out that link below. But the key here is to think about your own skill set. What can you create? What can you teach people that you can then monetize and make money from and grow your business? And unlike YouTube, one of the great things with the Skillshare classes, you pretty much get paid from day one, providing you get people to watch your content. And of course, it's got to be good. I think you need like literally 30 minutes of watch time in order to start getting paid, which is a lot different to having 1,000 subs, which can take ages, and 4,000 hours of watch time that you need from YouTube. So if you have a message or you really want to share something, then by all means jump over to Skillshare. Obviously use my link and then we can become best friends, and then get yourself started to bring in another income stream. Now, in terms of cost wise, it's free to set up. I literally didn't have to pay anything when I became a teacher on Skillshare. So I'm definitely going to give that a 1 out of 5. In terms of how easy it is to make money, again, this depends on how well you can speak to a camera or showcase the classes on camera. So it really isn't that difficult, if I'm being completely honest. And I say that as somebody who really sucks at speaking to a camera. So I'll probably give it a 1.5 here. Plus, it's a lot easier than YouTube as well. Now, in terms of how much money can you earn? Well, my best month, I think I earned around $400, which was fantastic. I mean, I'm getting something for something that I created and it's evergreen and it's consistently bringing in income. But it's not consistent, and some months are literally like $20. So it really depends on how well you grow it and how many times you recommend it to your audience. And as you guys know, this is like the second time I've ever said it. So I'll probably give it a 2.5 for that reason. But if you're an influencer or you have a great email list or you're an amazing teacher, it can probably be a lot more. Next up, we have e-commerce. So here guys, we have the buying and selling of goods and services online, and also a great time for you to smash that like button. Now, as we all know, many businesses started up in 2020 during the pandemic, as everyone recognized the importance of having some online presence, and most people were spending their time online. Obviously, we couldn't go anywhere. So for this reason, I think it's essential that if you have a business idea or a business, it 100% needs to go online. And in terms of the cost to set it up, it's literally a 1. It's so cheap to open up a Shopify store or even sell it via a TikTok page, an IG page, your Facebook page, which are all absolutely free. Now, in terms of how easy is it to make money, well, this depends on your marketability, your product or service, your niche, and how well you can get in front of customers. However, quick example, our Health Excel business here of the superfood blends made £4,000 in turnover just last month from our socials, and we haven't run any ads or done any sort of promotions or anything like that. It's just me and my wife literally putting ourselves in front of camera, being open and transparent, and as a result of that, we made a few sales. So it's definitely possible to make some money, and in terms of how difficult, I'd probably say 3 out of 5. Now, I will just very quickly stress, it's not as simple as just getting a website and doing a video like this. You have got to pivot, you have got to try a lot of things. However, if you work hard and you stay consistent at it, I promise you that by having an online presence and working on your marketing, you will eventually get sales. So please do stick at it if this is something that you're keen on doing. Now, in regards to how much you can earn, well, the sky is literally the limit. I'm going to give this a 5 straight away. If you have your own business, the world is simply your oyster, especially online. Of course, it depends on your market. And I'm not saying every business can earn millions and millions and millions, for example, but generally speaking, the sky is truly the limit in terms of how big a business can grow and how much turnover and profit it can generate or how many lives it can impact. So for that, it's just got to be a 5. And last but not least, affiliates. Now, you've probably seen affiliate marketers talk about earning millions and millions and millions. And I'm not here to talk about that because 1, I don't earn millions and millions, and 2, I'm not driving sales solely as an affiliate marketer, despite having some affiliate links in my description. But what you should and you could do is, if you have a social space, i.e. an Instagram page or a blog, for example, and you use certain products and services, is check out that particular brand's affiliate schemes. Now, very quickly, if you can't think of anything, Amazon has one and it's absolutely free. And it costs nothing to set up. So I'm definitely going to give it a 1 in terms of the cost of setting it up. And in terms of how easy it is in terms of making money, it's literally as easy as smashing the like button. So if you guys can smash the like button, you guys can make money from affiliates. However, it does depend on your ability to drive traffic, and the bigger your social presence or email list, then I definitely think you can make a lot more money from it. But from my experience, I'm going to probably say it's about a 4 out of 5 in terms of difficulty. And I say that because my brand isn't huge and I don't get many clicks from yourselves down in the comments below. And as a result of that, I haven't made huge sums of money. But as I continue to grow in maybe 3, 4, maybe even 5 years, I can definitely see that increasing. So more importantly for yourselves is, how much money can I make from it? And again, I'll use my own example here. It can literally be anything from a couple of pence to about £100 a month. It really depends on the type of video I'm promoting or how many people have managed to watch that particular video. But I know you can also earn thousands too, as some people show. So I'm probably going to put it as a 3. If you're great at what you're doing and you really know your sector and you have something that you genuinely use, i.e. like a roadcaster, for example, and you do a podcasting YouTube video, for example, you have a link, you may make some sales and a tidy sum every single month, and it'll definitely bring something in. And talking about bringing something in, I'm actually going to bring this video into a conclusion by thanking you all so much for sticking around and being so kind enough to smash the hell out of that like button. And maybe drop a comment down below if you find these kind of videos useful. I can always dive into them in a little bit more detail. I'm very keen on trying to help you guys not only work towards financial freedom, but to really live a life the way that you want to live a life. I'm very fortunate to have a lot of income streams that come in, and I just love the idea of creating something from literally nothing. I kind of enjoy that process more than the actual rewards at the end of it. And maybe you guys are the same. So please do try some of these. Let me know how you get on. Again, any comments, any questions about any of the 5 I've mentioned, please do drop them down below. And as always, people, thanks for watching. Oh, and the bleepers. But you can really get, but there are, however, but you can, so what I probably